Hey Happy Crew, HappiDaze here. In today's video we are doing Kizuna Clash versus Sanji and Pudding. So I tried to build a bunch of teams that are super buildable, don't have any of their newest, latest, greatest legends like York, or Shaka and Edison and Pythagoras who just came out. So just really simple basic teams. Not high point boosting teams, but teams that will be able to get you through this content with some of the older legends and rare recruits that are out there. So the good news is this TM actually isn't that bad in terms of gimmicks and things that they have going on. So I think you'll be able to team build pretty easily. Make sure you use the recommended teams that they give you. If you go into the actual Kizuna boss fight, you can actually see what people are using to clear both as the captain and subs. Make sure you look into that if you have any questions or look for other team options there. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the first fight and see how we take down this Kizuna. So for the first fight, we're going to take on the Psy version of the boss. So shout out to our guild member here for helping me do an assist, so I don't have to actually waste one of my runs. We did pull the major units here, so we'll have a team with those as well. But for now, this is a really buildable team using a Shaka friend captain. So this is the team that we're using right here. Nothing too crazy. We'll get into what it actually does. You don't actually even need the support on this Shanks unit. I just have them there just to be there. So on stage 1, you'll just get your cooldowns. Nothing kind of too crazy there. Kill the turtles. You'll be in really good shape. Obviously, you want to have units that are of the int typing. That'll just help you get type advantage versus the final boss. Just let you do more damage. And you'll see this team does an absolute ton amount of damage. So on stage 2, we're going to go ahead and do the swap of the Nam unit. That way we can get Karina. She gives a nice 6 turns of the damage threshold removal. She also can give 2 turns of special rewind, so she herself can literally take care of this whole stage, which makes her just absolutely fantastic as a unit here. So you can see we do that, we get a bunch of good orbs. If I want to, I can actually change the ship to the ship that gives you a better multiplier for the orbs, but you can see we have more than enough damage. It's not even an issue there. Going up to stage 3, we're just going to use the rest of everyone else's special. We have the Queen here just because he can take 6 turns of some of the gimmicks here. He just works fantastic for it. We have the Sugar and the Shanks to go ahead and take care of the barrier, even though Shanks himself is enough to take it himself. So if you don't have the Sugar and Dolphin unit there at the bottom, do not worry. You'll have more than enough damage even if you don't have that unit. They're just do some extra increased damage that helps us get higher in the nav levels. But yeah, you can see if we wait to the end, we'll use the Shank special there. And of course, then we can also use the Shaka special here as well. Puts us in a really good spot. Nothing really too crazy here on this team. I could also, if I want to, throw one of the Vegapunk units in the Sugar Dofi spot there, but I didn't have to. So that was fight number 1. So let's go ahead and get into fight number 2 and show you guys what the next team looks like. So the next team we'll be facing will be the Dex team. After you get through all these reward quests. Alright, let's go ahead and get into the team number 2 here. So for team number 2 here, we are facing the Dex Boss, so obviously we want to try to get units that are strength units. Again, we'll kind of go through what the units are doing when we get into there. But again, I don't really have any supports on these units that are critical. Just have them on there just to help out and do more damage. So if you have units that can do extra stats, extra anything, just throw them on there. You'll do even more damage and you'll be in really great shape. So again, we're going to use a Shaka friend captain. That's just so we can at least get some boosting, assuming that we didn't pull any of the new units. We're using Kobe as the captain. I've seen some people use Gear 5 Luffy, the strength Gear 5 Luffy, but because this Kobe is a cerebral unit, he'll boost everyone on the team, whereas the Luffy, you'll get buffs if you fall under the classes that he buffs, but if they're not cerebral like he isn't, then they don't get buffed by the Shaka captain, so that's why we're not using him there. So again, Nami and Karina are like the MVPs of rare recruits. They can just do so much, and we love them. We have the Hiyori on this crew to help us out with the nasty slot effects that get applied on turn 3 if you change slots, so the Wano slots help lock them, make sure you don't have to worry about it. And just makes us really good going into that last stage there. So on stage 2, again, we're going to use the Nam unit here, get rid of the paralysis for us. Then we can go ahead and use the Vivi Rebecca unit to get rid of the blue shield, the increased defense. And then we're off to the races. So if you saw, I did actually have the support of Brook on Nami Karina. Don't need him at all. You can replace him with anything. And then lastly, we're using Hiyori just to give us the extra boost there, so that way when we go to the last stage, we'll have a bunch of Wano orbs. She locks her for 1 turn, which is good. even if you can't defeat the guys on the side, like I forgot to do here because my tap timing wasn't great, they still retreat. So as long as you kill the guy in the middle, like you're good. You don't have to worry about anything here. So on stage 3, you just want to make sure you have full Wano slots, so that way you won't have to worry about getting your slots changed or that slot interrupt that happens that's really nasty. And then it's just a matter of it's using our specials. So obviously we use Vegapunk. We could choose what buffs we want to do. We'll be able to use Vegapunk multiple times. So in this case, we're just doing an attack boost to start. We'll let Kobe go. And then once we end up using the Shaka unit, you want to make sure that you use the super type if you have a Vegapunk unit on your team. That way you can get your set stats to 1, just get more damage there, and just go ahead and use it to really easily get rid of the defense there. Of course, it recharges Vegapunk. Then we can give ourselves an orb boost, and again, it recharges the Shaka, which is why it's such a cool unit. Just the fact that you can just buff so much of your attacks and chain multipliers and things like that. It's just really cool. So as you saw, we got through that content pretty quickly, not really much of a problem there. And again, a team that didn't have any of the latest units on your squad, except for, of course, the friend Captain Shaka, just to get you some more points. So that was fight number 2. So let's go ahead and get into the last fight of the day, and we'll see what that looks like. For the final fight of the day, we're going to go ahead and take on the quick variation of this boss, which means you want to have units that are of the Dex variety, type advantage. One thing I did mess up on here is I would actually probably change some supports on the characters on the right-hand side. I didn't realize at the time that you actually get your Dex orbs as badly matching, so that ends up screwing up some stuff there. But I could use the Corazon, I believe, once my slots get changed there to help take care of some of that. But yeah, I could just change that up a little bit and just make sure that we get some better matching slots on the right hand side, or just throw a unit on there that will give you the matching slots. That will work as well too. So we're going to go ahead and get to this content pretty quick. The nice thing about this Nami and Carrot unit that's up here is that when you get onto stage 2, you get a 2.5 multiplier where you have to do higher than that to do damage. Otherwise, I think it's 90% attack down. You also get block slots or get your slots changed as well, and this Nami and Carrot unit just take care of all that for you. Make it super easy, give you a 2.75 multiplier at minimum, and then change all your slots to matching. Like, it's fantastic. This one unit just takes care of that whole stage, which is awesome, and then it's just a matter of us attacking and clearing from that point on. So you can see a ton of damage. We're saving Shaka for last just so we have type advantage, but we didn't even have to use them. So like that makes it really nice. And then going into the final stage here, we're going to get some special rewind there, so that's why we have the Crocodile unit on our team. He's going to help get us that special back for cerebral units. All the units on this team are cerebral, so that will give all their special charge times back. Love to see it. You have the Sanji pudding units help take care of a bunch of the nasty buffs that are on there. Also gives a little bit of healing. We like to see that. And then, of course, we have the Robin unit on here. Corazon was just there just to help get rid of some of the debuffs that were there. And you can see at this point I used the Shaka special, but like I said, the orbs on the right-hand side aren't matching. Obviously, if they're matching, do a lot more damage. So I can throw some supports on those units just to make it so that we're in a much better spot, but it is what it is. I've just thrown these teams together quick, just to show you guys that it really is pretty easy to build teams for this Kizuna that aren't like super whale teams. Now, like I said, the multipliers for these teams aren't great. A lot of these were probably, if you saw, like probably like 1.6, 1.7. We'll see when this loads right here. But yeah, a lot of these teams that were on here, it's going to take a bunch of runs. Yeah, 1.65 was the multiplier. It's going to take a lot of runs if you don't have any of the boosted units, of course. But that's kind of what TM is, right? As long as you can get to roughly around like the 40 plus run mark and do your assists, so that's critically important too. Assists give you anywhere from 5 to 15 additional tickets, just depending on the level the assist is and what boosters you have on your team, right? So make sure you do those assists every 15 minutes. You can do an assist, assuming that someone on your friends list has requested the assist to be done. So just make sure you keep an eye out for that assist. That's just a nice, easy way to get anywhere from 20 to 40 additional tickets an hour. You do have to be on and actively checking. That's the downside, but still, for these kind of Kizunas where you don't have to go very far in terms of number of tickets to get all the rewards, it's not like the the Alliance Kizunas where you have to go up to box 7 and completely clear it, once or twice if you don't want to have to wait for the rewards to come out to get some of your skulls that you do the Silver Evolution for the units for. So just keep that in mind. It'll just make it a lot quicker. If you do those, it's a lot less likely that you won't miss out on those rewards. So that's going to wrap it up for me today. I'll probably have a video out tomorrow. It's most likely going to be just a pure gameplay video. It'll be me running my teams with Shaka and the new Vegapunk. And you'll see, like, it just melts the content because it's the boosters. But I figured I'd put this video out first because this will be more beneficial to you guys who might be looking at how to build some teams, what might be the approach that you use. So that's going to do it. That's going to wrap it up for me. As always, if you liked the video, like, subscribe, leave some comments in the comment section below if you have any questions or want to let me know your thoughts of this Kizuna. Love to hear it from you. And until next time, be kind to each other.